What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. This is Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, bro. Before I get going on today's video, y'all know what to do. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video, bro. If you come through and view my video, be sure to hit that like button. Put your seatbelt on when you hop in my car. Also, comment down below so we can chop it up and talk boxing. I love doing that with y'all, but I can't do it unless you leave a comment. So be sure to comment down below. And if you want to have me hop on a panel or collaborate with me, you can reach out to me on my email address at knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. Again, that's knockoutboxing, the number 8, the number 6, at yahoo.com. But without further ado, let's get it popping and get into today's video, bro. So check this out. I was taking a look at the WBO welterweight rankings, man, and I've noticed that Shawn Porter has been downgraded to number 2, and Vergil Ortiz has been moved up to number 1. And this move has huge implications as to what could potentially happen with Terence Crawford's next opponent, bro. So, with that being said, man, let's unpack it. Let's talk about how this happened, why this happened, whose fault it is, whether or not we like it, all of that good stuff, bro. First and foremost, the top-ranked Bob Arum, Terence Crawford side of things, man. To be very, very friendly to the WBO organization, I'm going to just call them extremely top-ranked friendly. Extremely top-ranked friendly. You know what? Forget it, bro. It's whatever Bob orders, bro. That's what they're called. That's what they're known as. The WBO bends at the whim of Bob Arum. So this move would not have happened if either A, Bob Arum didn't ask for this shit, or B, he wasn't okay with it for his fighter, bro. Because the WBO is a top-ranked belt, bro. You go up and down the line, the majority of the time, the WBO champion is promoted by Top Rank, and the WBO moves in ways. They have stripped fighters, they have vacated belts, they have done all kind of shit that benefits top-ranked fighters, bro, through the years. So that shit is a fact, can't be denied. But let's talk about what this move means. First of all, for Bob Arum, Terence Crawford, why they may want this. Let's talk about inside the ring. Inside the ring, Vergil Ortiz is perceived to be an easier matchup for Terence Crawford than Shawn Porter is. By many. I'm not telling y'all that I hold that same opinion. I need to see a fight made before I do a fight prediction and a breakdown. But by many people, they would consider Vergil Ortiz an easier fight for Terence Crawford than Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? Because Vergil Ortiz is younger. He's a prospect. He's a contender. In his last fight, he showed that he's there to be hit, you know, and maybe, you know, Terence Crawford and his team and Bob Arum feel like it would be easier than fighting somebody like Shawn Porter, because Terence Crawford doesn't have many weaknesses, but one of them, I'm not saying he can't fight inside, but he's not the best inside fighter. And we all know Shawn Porter bringing it to your kitchen, bringing it to your front door. It's going to be right there in your chest, on the inside, trying to rough shit up. And maybe Terence Crawford don't want that type of fight. Maybe his team don't want that type of fight for him. So they ask for this, bro. That's why a move like this, for them, will make sense inside the ring. It makes even more sense for Terence Crawford and his team, for Bob Arum and Top Rank, outside the ring. Because Vergil Ortiz is going to demand and ask for far less money than that of a Shawn Porter. He's not as proven as Shawn Porter. He doesn't have the resume of Shawn Porter. And this is his first shot. This is his first shot. So with that being said, you know, we gotta see what's up. We gotta see what's up, cause it makes too much business sense for them to make this move, because we know Bob Arum is cheap, bro. We know Bob Arum is cheap. We know that he is looking to pay Terence Crawford opponents bare minimum, bro. He's looking to pay them bare minimum when it comes to a fight with Terence Crawford, bro. And so he would like for Terence Crawford to be in there with somebody that's going to cost him less. So it makes sense from that perspective as well, bro. So overall, man, I understand why Top Rank, while Terence Crawford, why his team, why Bob Arum, I understand why all of those guys would want this fight for Terence Crawford over Shawn Porter. Because of inside the ring, a less proven opponent, a contender / prospect that doesn't have as much experience, someone whose style of fight, while Vergil Ortiz can fight inside, while he can get inside, he doesn't have near the experience near the pedigree that Shawn Porter has, just because he hasn't had the time, bro. He's much younger. So they perceive it as an easier fight inside the ring, and then outside the ring, it's going to cost less money. It would cost less money if this fight would have happened, bro. Bob Arum could get away with paying him millions less than he would have to pay a Showtime Shawn Porter. So for their side of it, it makes sense. For Shawn Porter, bro, I'm extremely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed in him, his team, Al Heyman, anybody that has a hand in the business moves that he makes as a boxer, anybody that advises him, bro, I am highly, highly, highly disappointed in, and I'll tell y'all why, bro. First of all, I understand as somebody that study this shit and create content on here, I know you can't just activate your mandatory. I know it ain't a button you can push as the #1 contender and say, yep, I'm the mandatory. You can't do that shit. Although he's calling himself the mandatory, although people have been calling Shawn Porter the mandatory for Terence Crawford, bro, he was never truly the mandatory challenger, bro. That is something that the WBO or any other sanctioning body, they have to mandate that shit. They decide that shit, right? But what he can do as a #1 contender, what he should have done, and what he didn't do, to my knowledge, first and foremost, before you do any negotiations, before you reach out to Terence Crawford, before you reach out to Bob Arum, first thing he should have done is write that letter, because that's what you have to do. He should have wrote that letter petitioning the WBO that says, hey, I see that you guys put me #1 in your ranking systems. My intention is to fight Terence Crawford. I want this to be my next fight, and I'm asking that you mandate and you activate me and you make me his mandatory challenger since I'm the #1 contender. That's the first thing he should have done before he talked to anybody, bro. That's what he should have did first. And to my knowledge, they didn't do it, so that's mistake one. That's mistake one, in my opinion, from Showtime Shawn Porter and his team, bro. They tried to just negotiate directly with Bob Arum and Terence Crawford and his team, and you can't do that, bro. #1, you know the WBO is extremely fan-friendly. #2, you know Terence Crawford, Bob Arum, all of them, you know they don't like paying his opponents, bro. So you know they ain't going to try to give you that bread. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to go ahead and leverage shit, right? You got to get shit in writing. You got to state your intentions clearly to the sanctioning body so they can't wiggle around this, bro. And you got to understand, he became #1 challenger a long-ass time ago, did Showtime Shawn Porter. So he should have wrote that letter ASAP. That's the first thing, bro. And then the second thing, bro, he was trying to negotiate too heavy with someone that doesn't have any interest in negotiating. And for me, man, it's the same energy. I feel like Showtime Shawn Porter has, or had at this point, because I think it's highly unlikely that he fights Terence Crawford now, bro. That's just my opinion. This is a way for them to skirt out of that fight. They don't have to fight you now. You #2. They can negotiate with the #1 contender who will take less money, bro. I think it's past that part, bro. I really, really do. But what he should have done, bro, this is the other mistake, man. Like, you got too much to gain in a fight with Terence Crawford if you Showtime Shawn Porter to be doing them hardball negotiation tactics. To be trying to negotiate. Look, bro, it's the same energy that I have for Terence Crawford when it comes to him and Errol Spence. It's the same energy and the same consistency and the same opinion that I have when it comes to Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. I feel like Showtime Shawn Porter should have taken less. Whatever it is that Top Rank was offering him, if it was $1 million, if it was 1.5, whatever the case may be that he felt like was disrespectful, he should have taken that, bro, to fight Terence Crawford. For the following reasons, bro. #1, it may be your last shot to become champion again, bro. It may be your last shot to become champion again. And it puts you in a prime position because you see, you got to know what's going on around you. You see around you what Errol Spence is doing. And if you want to put yourself in line to fight for Undisputed, if you want to put yourself in line for that huge mega fight, you going to need a belt, bro. You going to need a belt. And the WBO belt was right there for you if you moved correctly. And so you should have just become the mandatory. And that means a 75-25 purse split for Terence Crawford's favorite. Whatever gets you in the ring with him so you can try to get that belt, and then the rewards of winning, that big payday with Errol Spence, potentially 2 fights with Errol Spence, assuming you beat him for undisputed and y'all got a rematch clause, you make up those millions of dollars, bro. And your legacy, bro. The money after boxing. You got the Showtime Shawn Porter podcast, bro. How much more popular does that become if you defeat Terence Crawford? What does life after boxing look like for you if you defeat Terence Crawford and then you go in there with Errol Spence, put on another great performance, and you end up beating him? What do those do for you, bro? The rewards of taking less money right now were too good to pass up, in my opinion, for Showtime Shawn Porter. And that's why I'm disappointed in him, bro. I'm disappointed in him for, number one, not writing a letter to the WBO. Again, if somebody has knowledge that he wrote the letter petitioning them to become the mandatory challenger, please send it my way. But to my knowledge, he never wrote a letter petitioning them to be the mandatory challenger for Terence Crawford's WBO welterweight belt. And that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. And you're seeing that it was a mistake because by not writing that letter, they just finagled some rankings, and now you number 2 without even fighting, without losing or anything. Now you number 2. You feel what I'm saying? So you should have wrote that letter. And then the second and most fatal mistake, bro, you tried to negotiate from a place of no leverage, bro. You have no leverage. You don't have a belt. You a mandatory challenger, bro. No, I understand your resume. I understand what you've done in the sport. I understand how great of a fighter you are, bro. I understand that you put on great performances and nobody's had an easy victory against you. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, bro, you've been on one pay-per-view, and that's with Errol Spence, and it mainly so because of him, right? And then secondly, you're a mandatory challenger, bro. You're a contender at this point. You're not a champion coming with a belt. You ain't no huge pay-per-view star with a huge following that got leverage that's bringing all this money to the table. So you should have conceded, bro. And now it's looking like you may not get the fight. That's just what it is right now, bro. And I feel like this is mainly Shawn Porter's fault because he put himself in a position to allow the WBO, allow Bob Arum, allow Terence Crawford and his team, allow everyone to just kind of move around him. He been calling for the fight publicly. He been saying he want to smoke with Terence Crawford. But he should have wrote that letter, bro. He should have wrote that letter to the WBO, and he should have been a little bit more conceding in negotiations, man, and been willing to take less for the rewards that come if you beat him, bro. Just my thoughts, man. Just my thoughts on the matter. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, put your seatbelt on when you hop in my car. I appreciate either y'all. I appreciate everybody watching the video. Enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we out, chill. Peace.